Now, in the next question, alkenes are unsaturated hydrocarbon because of their reactivity are important industrial starting material. Alkenes for industry use. So write the equation for cracking of decane. Decane means C10H22 to form one molecule of propene as only alkene. So we have to form only one alkene here from decene. So what we can do in terms of structure, so this will be, as decene means C10 and H22. Propene is one of them. So prop means 3 carbon, and because it's seen, so general formula of alkene is CN H2N plus the possibility. Normally what happened, the possible product alkene alkane or alkene and hydrogen. So C3H6 is there. Out of 10, how many carbon are out? Because out of 10 carbon, 3 are used. So remaining 7. And out of 22, 6 hydrogen are used. So remaining will be 16. Because in the question they mentioned that's the only alkene is formed. So there is no alkene form. So I cannot produce another alkene. If I write hydrogen, like example C7H14 will be there and I want to produce hydrogen. So you can see this will result in a formation of another alkene. Already they mentioned in the question there's only one alkene. That's why it is C7 and H16. In the next part, the carbon-carbon double bond in alkene consists of a sigma and a pi bond. Explain using a diagram the difference between a sigma and the pi bond in a carbon-carbon double bond. Diagram explanation. So how we represent, like how we show this sigma bond and the pi bond? Basically, a sigma bond is formed by a complete overlapping. So if we have 2 carbon atoms, like this is one, this is another, so that's a complete overlapping. That will be a sigma. And when their axes are parallel, like if this is one axis, this another, then this will result in a formation of, the attraction will be there, that's known as a pi bond. So a sigma bond which is formed by complete overlapping of the orbital, whereas pi bond is formed by when axes of the orbitals are parallel to each other. Then state the type and the mechanism involved in typical reaction of alkene. So what kind of reaction alkene have? They have electrophilic and the type is addition. The mechanism, so it is electrophilic. The reactions of alkenes are the typical reactions are electrophilic, and because there is only one product, so it is addition. By considering the strength and the structure of pi bond, basically explain why alkenes are more reactive than alkane. So why alkenes are more, like alkenes undergo or their reactions are much faster as compared to that of alkane. So what is the reason for that? The pi bonds are weaker and they are more accessible to the electrophile or electrophilic attack. Or you can also mention or more electron density in pi bond. First thing you will mention, pi bonds are weaker, and due to high electron density, so if electron density is high, they are more accessible to electrophilic attack. Means the electrophiles can easily attract it towards the pi bond. The next part, when propene react with hydrogen bromide, there are two possible products. Draw a displayed formula of each of these products and label the major one. Look, when propene is there, if I draw the structure of first for propene, we have to complete the product. Like, so if prop means 3 carbon, so CH2, CH and CH3 reacted with hydrogen bromide, HBr. Hydrogen is attracted towards first, so bromine can be attracted towards second, or it can be other way around, hydrogen, bromine with first and hydrogen with second. So it will be CH3, CH, but we have to show a displayed formula. So you have to, displayed formula means show all the bonds. Because in a displayed formula, we represent all of the bond. So the first carbon may have hydrogen and the second carbon will have bromine. That's one possibility. Then the second possibility is the first carbon will have bromine and the second carbon will have hydrogen. Which one you think is a major product and which one is minor product? Which one is a major product? 2-bromo propene or 1-bromo propane? So 2-bromopropane is a major product. Why it's a major product? Because first, when this reaction will occur, what happened? Like, there's a double bond. So HBr is already partial negative and positive because unequal distribution. So when HBr is there, hydrogen partial positive attracted towards the electron rich side, bromine will take both of the bonds, like the electrons involved in the bonding. So if the first carbon will get a hydrogen, form a bond with hydrogen, and the second carbon will form a carbon cation. So you can see the central carbon, which is a carbon cation, is surrounded by 2 carbon chains. If the first carbon was having a form a carbon cation, it will form only 1 carbon chain. That's why the major product is 2-bromopropane. In the next part, give the mechanism of the reaction of propene with hydrogen bromide, which forms a major product. So we have to show a mechanism. The space, in exam you will have more space, but here I reduce the space to adjust the question. But in exam you will have more space available and you have to show a mechanism for this reaction, electrophilic addition reaction, when propene is reacting with hydrogen bromide. So prop means 3 carbon and there is a double bond. Hydrogen bromide, already hydrogen is partial positive because less electronegative. Bromine is more hydrogen attracted towards the electron rich side, and bromine will take both of the electron. So what will be the intermediate? The intermediate will form, but we have to show a major product, only one of them. So the carbon cation will be the central one, and then this carbon cation is attracted by the bromine, which is having a lone pair. So this lone pair attracted toward the carbon cation. So this will result in a formation of 2-bromopropane. Is it clear? This mechanism, electrophilic addition reaction. Why we call that as electrophile? Because the reaction started due to the attack of electron loving group or attracted towards the electron rich side. That's why we call that as electrophile. Any doubt in this? The mechanism. So next, by referring to the mechanism why the major product is formed, means why, like the carbon cation which is surrounded by more alkyl group is more stable. So what is the reason for, so what is the reason for that? You will mention because it will form a secondary carbon cation which is more stable than a primary. Because what are the two possibilities of forming a carbon cation here? The carbon cation may be the first carbon, like if the first carbon attached with the hydrogen attached to the first carbon, then the second carbon will be carbon cation. Or the carbon cation will be the first one, and so you can see this is a primary carbon cation when first carbon get a positive, and this one is a secondary carbon cation. So you will mention the why the major product is formed, because this will result in a formation of a secondary carbon cation, and secondary carbon cation is more stable because it has more alkyl groups or more electron releasing group which reduce the positive charge on the carbon cation. Then polypropene is manufactured from propene. Write an equation for polymerization and draw the displayed formula of repeat units of polypropene. So we have to write chemical equation. When they say chemical equation, it means we have to show both reactant and product. Again, the space is not enough to draw this, but how we show this? So the monomer should always appear like letter H. So what is the monomer? The monomer is a propene, CH2, CH and CH3. And we have to show a displayed formula. Displayed formula means represent all of the bonds. So it will be, our monomer should appear like letter H. So C double bonded with C. The first carbon having 2 hydrogen. The second carbon is having 1 hydrogen and CH3. It's up to you. You can make up or down. So if we have n molecules of this, and we have to draw the repeat unit, so we should repeat it. So this will continue. And the bracket put in. In the next part, but one more thing, because in the question they mentioned displayed formula. So when they mention, I should show all of the bond. So even for this CH3, because this is in a structural formula, we don't represent, like we show a minimal detail. So I should also represent this CH3 also, represent and show all of the bonds, then it will be correct. Same thing here, I circled so that when you draw, you should draw and represent all of the bonds. The UV radiation cause a polypropene to degrade, like it can decompose or degrade. The question is, suggest one advantage and one disadvantage. So what is the advantage if polypropene can degrade? So we will not require landfills if it can decompose by itself. And what is the disadvantage? Disadvantage, we cannot use it to outdoor, like, because if it is exposed to ultraviolet light or sunlight, or it cannot be recycled or reused. Question 18. What's the right answer for question 18? Question 18. So C is the right answer, because when you check the heavy group is at the top. When you check the heavy group, because more carbon, so heavy group is also at the top. So it shows that it is having, the heavy groups are on the same side, so it can be Z. So either A can be answer or C can be answer. Now, what about the name? When I count the carbon, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 5 carbon. But if I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so 6 carbon. So 6 carbon is showing the maximum number of the carbon in the chain. And what is not there is a branch. So, so we have a branch also, we have double bond also. So which position we have a branch? Third position, we have a branch of 2 carbon. That is why it is 3 ethyl. Why hex? Because there are 6 carbon in the chain hex. And second position, like second and third carbon are having a double bond. So it is hex 2 ene. And if I count from other way around, 1, 2, 3, 4. So double bond is coming at 4th. When I count from left hand side, double bond is coming at 2. That's why it is a right position. Give the mechanism for reaction of propene with hydrogen bromide to the major product. This already we discussed. Like propene is there reacting with HBr, and you have to show the mechanism. Already this is a similar question. So in which it form 2-bromopropane, that will be a major product, because the carbon cation will be a secondary carbon cation. Suggest 2 reasons why a cracking a large alkane molecules is important in industry. So what is the reason why a cracking of a large molecule is important in the industry? So because uh, the short alkanes, the lighter fractions, they have more uses. The product is more useful, or they're higher in demand, or smaller alkane gives less pollution or burned efficiently. Yes, we can also use to make hydrogen. Polyethylene is a plastic material made by polymerization of a hydrocarbon ethene. Which of the following is not true? Pure polyethylene is, which is not true? Yeah, that's right. A is the correct answer because it's not like a solid. It consists of carbon and hydrogen. It's a long chain compound. It's non-biodegradable. But solidified ethene means ethene is solidified. It's not ethene is solidified. It is totally a different compound. Question number 28. Which of the following statement correctly describe an environmental problem caused by burning of the hydrocarbon fuels? Question 28. Yeah, D is the right answer because the carbon dioxide produces toxic and kill plant. Actually, plants are using carbon dioxide to prepare glucose. Smoke produce obscures sunlight and leads to global. It's not global warming. It's called a global dimming, like reduce the amount of intensity. The water produced result in a damaging increase in rainfalls. That's not true. So this question is about the chemistry of alkene, which are unsaturated hydrocarbon state. What is meant by unsaturated hydrocarbon? So the meaning of unsaturated hydrocarbon, the compound which contain a carbon-carbon double bond. Then in the next part, an organic compound X is unsaturated with a molecular formula of C4H8 means it is butene. Draw the displaced formula and give the names of two unbranched molecule with a molecular formula CH which have E and Z isomers. So how to draw E and Z isomer? First, C double bonded with C, and displaced formula means you have to represent all of the bonds. So but1-ene cannot have a geometrical isomer because two hydrogen will be attached, so we cannot compare. But2-ene can have. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So I can make cis but2-ene or I can make trans but2-ene. And they mention it's a displayed formula, so I should represent all of the bonds in the structure. So this will be cis or Z but2-ene, and this will be trans or E but2-ene. Both of the isomers react with a solution of acidified potassium manganate. So when alkene react with acidified potassium manganate, this will result in a formation of a diol. The reaction is known as oxidation redox reaction is there basically. State the color. So original color will be purple because manganate is there, which is purple in color. and it will change into colorless. Draw the structure of organic product of this reaction with either one of the isomer. So one of the isomer, like example, if it was cis, if I took the cis isomer, so here we have to draw the structure. So CH3 was there, H, I'm drawing the first the reactant to show how the product will form. As it reacted with KMnO4 acidified potassium manganate, it will form diol. And how this diol is formed, the double bond will turn into a single bond and OH is added to both of the carbon. Compounds such as C4H8 are formed when fraction of a crude oil are cracked. State what is meant by a term of cracking when applied to a process of fractions obtained from crude oil. So definition of the cracking, how we define this cracking? So it's breaking of the molecule into a smaller, or breaking a carbon-carbon single bond or a long chain compound into a small and useful one. Write equation to show a cracking of a hydrocarbon octane into C4H8 and a saturated hydrocarbon as only product. So if we have octane, oct means 8 carbon, so C8 and H, 16 multiplied by 8 multiplied by 2, 16 plus 2, so that will be 18. Dimension, this will result in a formation of C4H8. So one is alkene, another one is saturated hydrocarbon. Out of 4, out of 8, 4 are used, so we are left with 4. And out of 18, 8 are used, so we are left with 10. So it will produce butene and butane. Another reaction, you can see a propene C3H6. Describe a mechanism for the addition reaction of propene with bromine. In your answer, you should include the name for the type of addition which occur, name of the product and mechanism, using the curly arrows to show the movement of electron pair. Type of addition. So what kind of addition is this? This is electrophilic. Name of the product, it will produce 1,2-dibromo. Propane. Then mechanism, how this reaction occur. So first we have propene. So C double bonded with C. In the mechanism, it's better you draw the displayed formula, but it is acceptable the other one as well. So this will have 3 hydrogen. Then because bromine, originally bromine is not having any, like a non-polar, because identical atoms forming a bond. But when the two molecules collide, this electrophilic addition reaction, how it occurred, this caused the shifting of electron density towards the bromine, which is away from the positive double bond. So one will get partial positive, another one negative. So it is attracted towards electron rich side, and one of the bromine will take both of the electrons. So this will result in a formation of carbon cation. And they mention a major, just a minute, I will check. Mechanism, movement. Okay, so in this case, because the final product will be same, even it will form, like the first one will have bromine and the second one, because the final product will not change because two identical atoms are added to the mixture. So this will be positive. Then bromine, which took the both electrons having a negative charge, attracted towards the carbon cation and result in a formation of 1,2 dibromopropane. Is it clear? Propene can be polymerized to form a polypropene. Atom economy means like it's mass of a desired product divided by total mass of reactant into 100. Propene can be polymerized to form a polypropene. State in with a reason the atom economy for this reaction. The atom economy will be 100%. Why? Because there is no byproduct. The desired product, like example, if you want to prepare polypropene from propane, so if we have only one product, then the atom economy will be 100%. And what is the reason for that? So you will mention because there's only one product. Because the atom economy is mass of a desired product divided by total mass of reactant. If the only product is your desired product divided by total mass of reactant, so both will have the same mass multiplied by 100. So you will get 100% atom economy for this type of reaction. Then draw the section of a polymer showing the 2 repeat unit. So we just have to draw the polypropene. So first your monomer should appear like letter H. It's propene. So C2, sorry, this is a CH3, and then H will be there. And this is one unit. We have to draw another unit and link them together, put N. Polypropene is used to make a synthetic fibers which are extremely light and act as a good insulator. Comment on the sustainability of this use of polypropene. So how we can, like, you have to mention its use. So it is not sustainable. Why it is not sustainable? As it is made from non-renewable resource. So because most of these, how we get this propene, the monomer, basically first we have like crude oil, then we do fractional distillation of the crude oil, and then after fractional distillation we do cracking. Cracking, we obtain these small alkenes, and then we polymerize them. Because if something is sustainable, if something is recycled or biodegradable, it means sustainable is there. But as in this case, it cannot be like, maybe if we run out of the crude oil or we don't have any crude oil, so we cannot prepare this polypropene again. So not sustainable, as a polypropene is not made from the renewable resource. So these are some questions related to the organic chemistry. This is a very lengthy assignment I have already shared with you, and I want everyone to attempt these assignments related to unit 1. So we are done with unit 1. The only topic, there's one new topic which is added, is about the journal gas equation, but that's will not take too much time. So we are almost done with unit 1, and for 2 weeks we will do past papers, and then I will start unit 2. So mid of January, I will start unit 2, and likely 1 month we will complete unit 2 as well, and the whole course in February. The unit 3 based on most of the unit 3 based on unit 2. So once we are done with unit 2, the unit 3 is also completed. So last week of Feb or mid of March, we will complete this chemistry. Any doubt related to the class today? Any question or a doubt?